Welcome everybody. Today we're just going to do a little quick scalp and see if we can watch it through. We're already in the short at at 23.05 on ENS. It pumped over 50%. Now it looks like a pullback. These are really great for cryptocurrencies to get into a short. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. We're just going to watch it and see if we can get a little scalp going. We will get in. We'll dollar cost average into this position if we need to. I'm not for sure that we're going to, but we're on the 4-hour chart right now. You can go to the lower charts if you'd like, but you can see that we're definitely pulling back right now. So looks like we may come back up here and test this recent swing high, which if that's the case, we'll add to the position. But right now we're just going to watch it and see how it plays out live trading with us. And if you like this type of content, just go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And we do this quite often, so just jump in and trade with us. Let's see what the day chart looks like. Yeah, you can see the past couple of days it's just been pumping like crazy. 30% yesterday. It's up 30% right now. At its high, it was almost 50% up. That tells us that this is parabolic movement is what this would be called. But every time you have a parabolic movement, this is not organic. Okay, this is people coming in and just driving it up. And most of the time, where it starts parabolicing at, the parabolic movement starts. This is where it usually comes back to. So if we can get into a short and it actually is starting to turn on us, this is going to be great for us. But again, right now we're right at break even with a really ugly 4-hour candlestick. So we'll just have to sit here and watch it and see how it's going. Let me switch. Uh, Not for sure. There now we're starting to go down. We have $1,000 in this position too, by the way. So we have $1,000. You can see that we're dipping right now. Let's see right now. Let's see. Let me get to the 4-hour chart. Let me zoom it in right now. We're at 1.38% right now. But we don't want to do that. We want to go a lot lower. We want to at least get 5% out of this. And we'll go from there. Take out half the position at 5%, and then we'll let the other ride at break even and see how far we go down. Everything started pumping this morning, so that's great for us. And we'll see. But let's go. And if you want me to look at another coin, just go ahead and let me know, and I'll jump into that other coin to see if what we have going on over there. All right, let's see. We're under on the 5-minute chart. We're under it. It's kind of hard to scalp crypto on the 5-minute chart on some of the exchanges because the spreads are so high, so far apart. So you got to be careful with that. And you go to the 4-hour chart and scoot it in a little bit more, so we can see it. There we go. All right, so we want to take half of it off right at 5%, and then we'll move our stop loss to break even, and then we'll just jump off here and let it ride. And if you want to follow the updates, you have to be in Telegram, and we'll just go from there. But patience is the key on these types. We're under it. You might have some high wicks pulled up on there, but that's normal. I mean, we're doing good right now, so we'll just have to wait. Patience is the key. At let's see, at 2.5. If you want to get out at 2.5, you're right at 2.5 right now. There it is. There it goes. We want to get to that 5. Want to get to the 5 mark, take half off, and leave the other at break even. Maybe even a little bit above it, just so we can catch that EMA as our pullback, and go from there and see how it is. Trading crypto is really easy. It's this the key to trading crypto is patience. and if you have patience, you're gonna be good. And you can see we're almost to our target at 5%, and so again, just patience is the key. Every time a coin pumps like this, it's always good to sit there and monitor it to see where the pullback starts to happen. And when the pullback happens, you got to make that distinct decision to get in right away, and have a really tight stop loss, because we're pumping right now, right? So if it's pumping and we get into it and it's really not a pullback, then we will be screwed and we'll be stuck into a trade which we don't want to be in, right? So make sure that if you do jump in, you get into a really tight stop loss, and just wait for the next chance to get pulled back and then get into it. You never FOMO into a coin that's pumped 20, 30, 40%. You never jump into those and try to go long. At least I don't. That's dangerous. Unless you're using like 50 to $100, then it won't be that bad. But if you're trading 1,000 or even $500, if you're trading $500 or 1,000, you're not going to want to do that, because you can get liquidated really quick, especially if you're leverage trading. And on here, we're leverage trading 3%, 3 times, sorry, 3x. And again, if it doesn't get to our target and then we pull up here, we'll just dollar cost average right here, and we'll have a medium entry right here. So it's okay. Just be patient. You have a perfect setup right now on the higher time frames, and you can see on here, even if it pulls all the way up to this previous candle, which is 14%, that's nothing compared to what it's pulling up. That's why you don't leverage high, and you have small positions, and you dollar cost average into that position. But right now we're still in profit. So if you wanted to take out profit and you got scared, you could. I'm not going to, because I'm gonna see how well we do. Right now you're at maybe 1.5%. So it's a good setup right now. And if we do get out of profit again, we already have our game plan. That's a key to trading. If this happens, this is what I'm going to do. So if this happens, this is what I'm going to do. You don't want to sit there and try to figure out what you're going to do, make rational decisions on the fly, right? Because that's never good. What you want to do is you want to have a game plan. If this happens, this is what I'm going to execute. If this happens, this is what I'm going to execute. And so as long as you have that game plan set, you're good. You're going to be golden. We clearly have a double top on the oscillators, so that's also a good thing. We also have a double top here with the divergence, so this tells us that this is a good entry. You can't get any better entry than this right here, unless it just completely dumps on us and we get to that full pullback of 30%, 28% actually right now. Should have music on here. That'd be cool. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, see, it just, as soon as you have this big pump and then you start having the pullback, you're going to have all these big candlesticks and crazy movement going on. Just don't panic. That's a key to trading. Don't panic. Again, the best thing to do is have a uh, trading in place and just watch it work. Our lowest that we were at was right at 3.89. Let me move this out of the way. Just patience is the key. If it pumps like this, don't worry. You have your game plan. You stick to your game plan. Okay. We know that we might come up here and test this not all-time high. Test this swing high right here. And if we do test this swing high, then we dollar cost back in, and now we have either you want to say a triple top or a head and shoulders. It doesn't matter. Both of them are bearish. Now, if we break above this thing, our next one is going to be up here. Our last entry will be up here at the 14% mark, and that's why you have to not put big amounts of money, because you know that your position is 14% wide because it's pumping like crazy. So we want to make sure that we dollar cost average in, so we have a medium position, so we don't get stuck at this position that we're in unless it just is good for us. And we actually got in a little bit late. This is our true entry right here when we broke down right here on both of the oscillators. This is actually the true entry, but we got in a little bit late. That's all right. It's no big deal because we saw this one and then it started dropping on us, so that's good. We are sitting pretty. Looks like it got rejected by those EMAs. Those EMAs are just regular EMAs. So no matter which ones you use, if you use 2550, 1020, 1530, they're all going to be great. You got to learn how to master those EMAs. So. And if we get down there to or when we do get down there to the 5% mark, that's $150 we'd make at $1,000 entry at 3x. It's 150 bucks. Just a quick little scalp, and man, that's more than what people make in a regular full-time job at minimum wage in the real world. This is why I like trading so much, is because you make more money. Don't have to work nearly as hard. You sit there, you can play on your computer or do whatever you want. And the reason we want to do the 5% right there is because we can see that we have pretty decent size resistance right there. You can see that it's right there on there. Didn't get down there quite a bit, but you can see that this is why we want to target 5% and just let it ride. And again, if it does pull up here, there's no reason to panic, because then we'll just dollar cost in there, and then we'll have 2,000 in there at 3x, and then we'll have a better position. We'll have the medium position, and then we'll still be in a good position. And if we do come up here and push up here, we'll have a triple top or a head and shoulders. Both of them are bearish. This is why we want to do this. And there's a lot of movement. This is a 5-minute chart, and you're having tons of movement in here. So again, don't freak out. everything's still red. We have the mom indicator. Looks like it's pulling up. That's okay, because when this thing turns over, this thing should drop. But patience is the key. You have a plan, stick with the plan. The plan will work. As long as your plan works, 51% of the time, you're golden. You'll be in a really good position. It looks like it's trying to push back up, but it keeps getting rejected. It keeps getting sold off as soon as it does try to pull up. Change that color. We'll stick with yellow. Yellow's bright. And don't ever start questioning yourself. What you need to do is, I did this. How do I get better? What mistakes did I make? But if you have a game plan, stick with that game plan. And if you stick with that game plan, you're and as long as it's a decent game plan, and it works for you at least 51% of the time, then you're gonna be good. So when you look at stuff and you have a bad trade, if because it's gonna happen, if you do have a bad trade, then you just wonder. You don't sit there and say, why did I do this and why did I do that? Don't question yourself. What you need to question about is, what mistake did I make? What did I miss in this trade? Was it just a fluke trade that it's a one-off, or did I actually make a bad trade? And those are all normal questions, especially when you first start trading. You'll see that, but right now, there's no reason to panic on here, because we have our game plan. We want to set up. We know that this is going to be a resistance level, and if we break straight through it, well, that's gonna be great. But it pumped over 50%. Any parabolic movement will have a nice size pullback, and that's what we want to jump in. We want to jump into that nice size parabolic movement. With dollar, we have 3 positions that we're going to get into, with a total of 5K into it, roughly 5K into it. And if we get into all 3 at 3x, it's 15 grand. And if we do hit our 5% mark, it's going to be a great payday. So you just got to be patient, let the trade play out, and we'll be good. And if you have other coins you want me to look at while we're waiting on this to play out, just post it in the chat, and I will I'll jump over there and look at them. It's going to be our next entry to dollar cost average. at 24.86, which would give us a right there in the medium. It's trying to break back up, but it keeps getting rejected. So I keep getting disconnected, it looks like. Game plan is key to trading. If this happens, this is what we're going to do. Never try to wing it at the very end. Always, always, always want to have a game plan. If A happens, this is what we want to do. Looks like it closed above the 20 EMA. Back into profit. Trading is fun. Still on bearish on the indicators. Our mom indicator is starting to turn red. Now it's back green. So it looks like this little movement may be done. May have a wick up here, but that's okay. See, another thing that we need to keep in mind is if we come back down here and we test this, this is the only resistance there. You go this way, it's in the middle of that candlestick. So the past couple hours, maybe even half a day, there's no resistance here. So this shouldn't have a resistance here. So if we come down here and we bounce off of that, then we automatically close the trade, because that means that this is going to become a resistance, and we don't want that, right? We don't want that to be a strong resistance for us to break down. This is the resistance that is pretty strong. We have several touches. It broke through it. It has not retested it yet. We want that retest on there, and so that's what we're looking for right now. This is why I read a lot of books. When you're trading, it's a lot of downtime. You should. If that's another thing that people make a mistake of. If you're not in a trade, you're not making money. Well, you can also look at it as you're not in a trade, you're not losing money. So patience is the key. Here we go. Come on, keep on dropping. And remember, if it gets to right here, let me mark that. If it gets to right there, and we don't break that, then we automatically close it, because that means it's going to be a resistance to us. We have a little resistance right here, but we need to break that. We have tons of volume coming downwards. Right now you're at 1.5 into profit. A lot of people will panic and sell there. You have a bearish engulfing on the candlesticks. Fully engulfed candlestick. Let's see if it plays out like the textbook play out. Let's see if it does. 5-minute candlesticks on fully engulfs are not that strong. You can see over here that they're not that strong. They're only powerful on pullbacks and pumps. Like when the pump starts happening and then you have a pullback, then it gets into they get useful at that time. Again, if we come down here and we test this 22, 23 and we don't break it, we're gonna close this trade out. Come on. With this little resistance right there. There we go. Come on. Right now we are at 2%. Right at 2% on 5K. I'm sorry, not 5K. On 1K. What we're going to do is looks like we're just going to start going sideways. If this candlestick closes right there, we're going to take profits. Yeah, it looks like it's pulling back up. Patience is key though. Come back up here, may test that and get rejected again. See, this is a prime example of a fully engulfed candlestick. Not that powerful on the 5-minute chart. Dun, dun. Minute 30 on this candlestick. Hopefully it pushes back down. We have this little resistance right there that we need to break. At least close below it. Bounce there 3 times. This is the first, second, and third. We'll definitely want to close below it on this candlestick. One minute left. If we don't close below this, I'm going to close out the trade. If we're still in profit, it'll be 3% profit, which is really good for a quick scalp. There we go. Get below it. .5% profit. 20 seconds. Come on, you can do it. You go close below it. There we go. Come on. All right, I'm gonna. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna close it because it's starting to teeter totter there. Looks like we're trying to push down, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. Trade closed. Let's see. It's 127.50. That's okay. 127.50 off of this trade at 1,000 at 3x. 1,000 at 3x, and look at it now. It's going to hit our target. But you all 127.50 at 3x. Let me put it on there so we can. All right. Thank y'all for watching. If you want more lives like this, just let me know, and I'll jump on whenever I see a nice little scalping position. Looks like we may hit our goal, but still 127.50 at 3x, $1,000 on it. So it's a really good one.